Hi guys, and thank you so much for joining me. If you are new here, I'm Kat and I like to talk about true crime, conspiracies and all sorts of related things. Let's talk about the boy in the box. But before we do that, just a quick disclaimer. All the information I'm giving you in today's video is already in the public domain. I also do not mean any disrespect to anyone I talk about in the video. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Also, trigger warning, there might be some graphic photos headed your way, so I will try to give you another warning, but more or less the entire video is a warning of some kind. It contains child abuse and also crime scene photos, so if this is something that you don't want to see, then please don't watch the video. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get started. In 1957, John Stakowiak, a young muskrat hunter, set out to check his traps, set near a park just north of Philadelphia. As he moved through, he found a small cardboard box lying on the ground. Inside was the naked body of a boy wrapped in a flannel blanket. Because his traps were illegal, fearing the police would punish him and confiscate the traps when he alerts them of the box, John just ignored it and carried on hunting. A few days later, Frank Guthrum, a college student driving down the road, noticed a bunny running alongside the highway. The student knew that there were traps in the area, and so he stopped to make sure that the animal was safe. As he sifted through the underbrush searching for traps, he came across the box. Even though he also feared interaction with the police, the student reported the body to them. Given that the boy was young, between 3 and 7 years old, police were hopeful that he would be quickly identified. However, once they saw the body, they lost the hopes this will happen. While people would be looking for a missing boy who was healthy, well cared for and clearly loved, it was unlikely that they would be looking for a thin, dirty and malnourished one. Unfortunately, the boy in the box was just that. His hair was matted and seemed to have been recently cut, as clumps of it still clung to his body. His body was severely malnourished and covered with surgical scars, most notably on his ankle, groin and chin. Despite the fact that he looked abandoned, police fingerprinted him, hoping to find a match. Sadly, no one did. Over the next several years, over 400,000 flyers were sent out to the Philadelphia area, as well as other towns in Pennsylvania. A forensic facial reconstruction was done, and a drawing of a young, happy boy was included on all of the posters. Flyers were posted in police stations, post offices, and even included in the envelope with gas bills, but still no one came forward with any information. The crime scene was searched over and over again by 270 police academy recruits who discovered a man's blue-white handkerchief with the letter G in the corner, but all clues led nowhere. The police also distributed a post-mortem photograph of the boy fully dressed and in a seated position as he may have looked in life, in the hope it might lead to a clue. There were no leads. To this day, the boy's identity remains as much a mystery as it was in 1957. Even though the case has run cold, the publicity and interest in the case highlighted a few theories throughout the year. In 1960, an employee of the medical examiner's office was told by a psychic that the boy in the box had come from a local foster home. The police inquired about the boy at the foster home and found blankets similar to the one he had been wrapped in hanging on the clothesline, as well as a bassinet that was sold in the same box that the boy had been found in. The employee theorized that the boy had been born to the daughter of the man who ran the foster home, and his death had been accidental. Despite the employee's insistence of these facts, no connection was ever made between the boy in the box and the foster home. It wasn't until 40 years later that another shocking theory emerged. A woman referred to only as M came forward claiming that the boy had been purchased by her abusive mother and abused for several years in her home. M claimed that after the boy vomited up his dinner of baked beans, her mother bashed his head against the wall as punishment. Then she attempted to bathe him, during which he died. The police initially followed this lead as there were remains of baked beans in the boy's stomach and his fingers appeared to be water wrinkled. Those were both pieces of information that were never shared with the public. They were also encouraged by M's description of the boy as a small child with long hair. This fit with their theory that his hair has been recently chopped, as well as an old testimony from a man who claimed to have seen the boy being placed in the box near the woods. Unfortunately, police eventually let the theory go, as they were unable to verify M's claims. After looking into M's background, they found a history of severe mental illness. When they attempted to corroborate her claims with neighbors and friends, all of them denied ever seeing a child in the home. The theory was eventually dismissed as ridiculous. Forensic artist Frank Bender developed a theory that the victim may have been raised as a girl. The child's unprofessional haircut, which appeared to have been performed in a hurry, was the basis for the scenario, as well as the appearance of the eyebrows being styled. In 2008, Bender released a sketch of the unidentified child with long hair, reflecting the strands found on the body. In 2016, two writers, one from Los Angeles, California, Jim Hoffman, and the other from New Jersey, Luis Romano, explained that they believed they discovered a potential identity from Memphis, Tennessee, and requested that DNA be compared between the family members and the child. The lead was originally discovered by a Philadelphia man who introduced Romano and Hoffman to each other, and was developed and presented with the help of Hoffman to Philadelphia Police Department and the Vidocq Society in early 2013. In December 2013, Romano became aware of the lead and agreed to help the man from Philadelphia and Hoffman to obtain the DNA from this particular family member in January 2014, which was then sent quickly to the Philadelphia Police Department. Local authorities confirmed they would investigate the lead, but said they would need to do more research on the circumstances surrounding the link to Memphis before comparing DNA. In December of 2017, Homicide Sergeant Bob Kallmeyer confirmed that DNA taken from the Memphis man was compared to the Fox Chase boy, and there was no connection. Several other theories have been presented over the years, though all of them have eventually been discounted. It seems that the mystery of the boy in the box might never be solved, and that America's unknown child could remain that way forever. The boy in the box was originally buried in a potter's field. In 1998, his body was exhumed for the purpose of extracting DNA, which was obtained from enamel on a tooth. He was reburied at Ivy Hill Cemetery in Cedar Brook, Philadelphia, which donated a large plot. The coffin, headstone, and funeral service were donated by the son of the man who buried the body in 1957. There was significant public attendance and media coverage at the reburial. The grave has a large headstone bearing the words, "America's Unknown Child." City residents keep the grave decorated with flowers and stuffed animals. I think that out of all the theories that are out there about the boy in the box and who is potentially the killer, the one which sounds the most likely to me is actually what M said about her abusive mother. It's consistent with the boy's last dinner, baked beans, and the contents found in his stomach. And if M has a mental illness, right, that would mean that her mom possible had a mental illness as well, which could mean that's the reason why the boy died, because like M was saying that the boy spilled the beans and then the boy vomited the beans, and then the mom got really angry and bashed his head in a wall and then gave him a bath to clean him off. She probably bashed his head in the wall so hard that it led to him dying, and it would be consistent with a mental illness here, And also with, like I said, the contents of his stomach, and also the fact that his fingers were wrinkled, suggesting that he had previously had a bath. The mom gave him a bath after he vomited the baked beans, so this is actually a very strong possibility that it could have been her, and that could have been the boy in the box. But obviously, because of the history of mental health, the police couldn't really confirm anything. But from my point of view, I think that this is the only strong enough possibility. So what do you guys think? Please do let me know in the comments below. Who do you think that the boy in the box is? Have you ever been to his grave? Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe and take care, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!